Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another adventure in Terraria land. We left off setting up our arena, getting ready for the fateful battle of Cthulhu. It's now dusk, so I think as soon as night falls, we are slated for an epic battle with the evil Eye of Cthulhu. Meantime, looks like I made that, right. That's better. So we can tell by the fact it's almost nighttime. Soon it'll be time we can fight the Eye of Cthulhu. That wasn't wise. I'm gonna go ahead and head over there, stand by the bonfire. Get up to full health. So my health is nicely recharging. Alrighty. So while we wait, the music should change shortly and we'll know when it is. I'm pretty sure that means it's dusk now, so we can start to see stars. But we'll give it just a little bit longer to make sure. Although they might have fixed it. It used to be, if you tried to use the Eye of Cthulhu during the day, you just couldn't summon the eye and you wasted the summon ability. I think now they changed some of the summonables to where it doesn't do that anymore, but waiting to be safe is never a bad problem. But a bit of the game plan, because I might be a little distracted when I'm running for my life. Yeah, my defense is a little low, but oh well. So, the Eye of Cthulhu is a giant floating eyeball that spawns little mini eyes to attack you and tries to run into you. So I'll be basically running back and forth on this platform, trying to keep away from the Eye of Cthulhu and shooting it. That's my basic game plan. And I think it is now nighttime, so eat my pie, eat a couple potions, and... Alright. Looks like it's not quite nighttime, so that is fun. Lovely. On a bright side, you notice that my defense is now up to 23 with the potion. I move a lot faster. The only downside is you feel an evil presence watching you. Alright, so looks like I didn't even have to summon the Eye of Cthulhu after all. You feel an evil presence watching you is a tag that tells you the Eye of Cthulhu is just about to spawn. It can happen anytime after you've destroyed your first shadow orb. So, hey, convenient. Means any minute now, I should be getting a message saying the Eye of Cthulhu is awoken. So we'll just hang out. In the meantime, I heard a falling star. Another little interesting tidbit. If you're lucky enough, these shooting stars, as they fall, they do damage to enemies. Something like 1,000 damage. So if I'm lucky enough, a shooting star can completely wipe out an enemy. So I know I saw that message. It's nighttime. I could just summon an Eye of Cthulhu if I wanted to, which I might just do because I need the whole nighttime. Oh well. Alright. So you can hear the boss music, and there he is, ladies and gentlemen, the Eye of Cthulhu. He has 2,800 health, and my goal is to just work him on down. There we go. I can. Oh boy. So yeah, see that message down below? The other Eye of Cthulhu just spawned. So if I was patient, could have fought one without, but it's okay. Oh wait, what? Oh boy, I did not know this could happen, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be one intense fight. And I don't think I'm going to win it. Actually, maybe. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Health is holding up okay. I'm trying to keep these guys under my cloud because that's going to be the only way I can take them both out. Alright, so the one-eyed Cthulhu's gone hard mode, or gone into his second mode. He now charges at you and does more damage. But I think the harpoon does a lot of damage, so fighting those goblins was definitely the right choice. Alright, let's kill off one. Well, there we go. The epic battle of Cthulhu. And he dropped Crimtane ore. Nice. Alright. So, that's the harpoon method of killing an eye. Or you can just shoot them with your gun. I kind of like the gun because if I miss, it's not the end of the world. With the harpoon, if you miss too much, your damage really starts to fall off. Plus, the gun does a fair bit of damage. Alrighty. And now I'm going to switch to harpoon because he's much more... Yeah, as I say that, I missed. It's a lot harder to miss the Eye of Cthulhu now because he kind of just... And dodge the attack. Come on. Interesting. Right though. Kill this off. There we go. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Eye of Cthulhu. It's, as you like, with a little bit of preparation, it's not honestly the most difficult boss fight in the world. But I think you guys could tell, if you weren't prepared for it, it could have turned pretty nasty. Also, nice little demonstrator there. Once you break your first shadow orb, these things, Cthulhu can just start spawning if it feels like it. So, keep that in mind. You might not want to start breaking shadow orbs until you're ready for all these big spawns, or else, you know, bad things can start happening. But, worked out pretty good this time. The mighty Karate Tortoise was victorious against not one, but two of Cthulhu's eyes. Apparently he really had his sights set on me tonight. So, and perfect timing. My Iron Skin Potion's just running out. Plenty of time on my pumpkin pie still. So, the loot. Basically, we got some health potions, about 3 gold coins per Eye of Cthulhu, and Crimtane ore. If you're in a corruption world, you'll get corruption ore instead of Crimtane ore, but they're very similar. So let's... Crimtane bars. Alright, so I have 34 bars. I can now make a sword, a battle axe, or a bow. The bow does 19 damage. The bow is average speed compared to fast speed. So, the bow, not really that great. Frankly, the axe isn't all that endearing, except that you can use the axe to cut down trees. However, the sword is pretty useful. So against the Destroyer of Worlds, it's incredibly useful to have a powerful blade because the way the boss is. It's a giant worm, and swords hit multiple body segments, so it really increases your damage output. I haven't fought the Crimtane version, which is the Brain of Cthulhu, so this will be the next adventure. It might turn out rather poorly, but I'm going to grab a sword because you always need a good sword. Yeah, 15 to 23, and this sword, it's a little slower, but come on. Oh, sorry, bunny rabbit. It's a pretty awesome sword. It's got good range, so that's what I can currently craft. Let's talk to the guide here because I want to show you guys something else. Drop the Crimtane in here. You can see there's a lot more that can be crafted, but something's missing. We need tissue samples. Or if you're in a corruption biome, you need shadow scales. These can be dropped from the other boss in the Crimson, and since the Eye of Cthulhu battle went so well, I think we can start... I think we have a bit of time. We can see about getting set up for the next boss battle. So you've got... And our goal here is going to be the Crimson armor and a pickaxe. Once we have that, we can start going to hell. So, I'm just gonna drop this. I could summon another eye if I really felt like it, but I think we have enough for now. There's not much use of Crimtane without... I do not want to put those there. There's not much use of Crimtane until I get more tissue samples. That's fine, though. I am going to take the vertebrae with me and see about farming up what I need to summon the Brain of Cthulhu. Now, before I do that, I am going... well, yeah. Swiftness potion. Let's see. Do I have any bottles? I have bottles, but I don't have water. Day bloom, and I think I have an iron ore. If you guys are curious, the iron skin potion I only had one of from before, so I'm going to quickly make a few more. Early game, especially, that +8 armor. I mean, my default is 15, so +8 increases my armor by 50%. That's really good. So, first thing I do, you go get in the water. You can now have bottled water. And yeah, that should be plenty. There we go. And unlike most of your bottling companies, I'm not going to charge you an arm and leg for bottled water. This stuff is free. Granted, it's bottled lake water that people swim in, so don't know how much you want to drink it, but to each their own. Alright. So, I could make a mana potion, but I really don't need them. Iron Skin Potion is 1 bottled water, 1 day bloom, and 1 iron ore. So this is part of why iron ore, even after you don't need it for crafting, or for gear, is still useful later, simply because of Iron Skin Potions. So now, and day blooms, you can kind of... I'm just going to keep them both with me. Day blooms can be harvested. You can also plant them. They're the little yellow flowers you see. They will grow naturally. So it's also why I tend to swing my sword while I'm running around. I chop down the grass because there's a chance I'll find more day blooms. Alrighty. So, with all this said, let's head back over to the Crimson. Actually, sorry. I know this is a bit back and forth. I wanted to also make a couple of pumpkin pies. Again, every edge you can have in a boss fight is useful, and I'm actually going to make a couple extra because the buff for pumpkin pie lasts so long, and pumpkins are a practically free thing. You just harvest them when you see them. I'm going to just, for the most part, keep my well-fed up. It's a minor improvement to all stats. I'm not entirely sure how much, but even if it's just slight health regen, slight speed, slight damage, why not? It's practically free. And yeah. What'd I get? Leprechaun! Alright. Fun times. I still like my karate tortoise better. Alright, so I'm actually going to explore a little bit better. So, again, when you're fighting bosses, always know your battlefield. And from the look of it, the Crimson... Interesting. So I can tell by the red here that Crimson is still here. Alright. Yeah. Mining while you're here doesn't hurt anything. Additionally, anytime you find these nice little houses, for lack of a word, underground, always worth investigating. They almost always, I would say always, but I'm not positive, contain a chest. Oh, that's cool. So, I'm going to take that home with me. It tells you the time in the bottom right, the in-game time, which is useful for knowing if it's night or not. So they always contain some stuff. Yeah. Okay. So it looks like that's the Crimson over to the left. I think that's about... Yeah, I should have bought rope. Alright, I'm just... So, remember what I had said about falling on ice? We'll break it. There you go. Fortunately, I have a water walking boot. I have water walking boots now, so it helps. Actually, the ice is annoying half the time now. Platinum. Might be useful for armor until I can kill off the Brain of Cthulhu. Don't know for sure on that, though, because the goal is that that should happen pretty soon. But, again, if it's right there, easy to grab, you might as well take advantage of all your options. And I meant to shoot that a little further. That cave looks like it goes a little bit higher, but doesn't... Ow. As you can see, the better sword, at least. If nothing else, killing Cthulhu gave me a much better weapon. Really wish I had some rope. Oh yeah, if you have snow, you can make a snowball. It's really low damage, but it's still kind of fun. You can get to a snowball fight. You can also make snow bricks, so it's all sorts of fun stuff. What I'm looking for is... I suppose I'll build it out of snow. Alright. If you ever need to just scale somewhere and you don't really need it to be repeatable, building a wall like this is often useful. So, since I didn't buy any more rope after setting things up... Oh, hey! So if it's raining and you're in a snow biome, what you get is a blizzard. It's just a different, different response. Oh yeah, okay. So, just a different cool effect, visual effect. Xylia the Dryad just arrived, so it's yet another NPC. The Dryad will arrive after you've beaten your first boss. So because I've now beaten Cthulhu, she shows up. She sells a few things, like a couple of different seeds, a couple other things, nothing too drastic. So, my current goal right now is just farming for these vertebrae. I don't remember exactly how many are needed to make a spinal column. I've got 8. I want to say the number is 12. And the reason I'm farming for it as opposed to trying to find and destroy one more heart is that I'd like to be able to choose my battleground for fighting the Cthulhu. I'd like to pick a battleground. I could fight it up here in the open. Wouldn't be too bad of an option, actually. My hunch is that down here... Ah, rope. Nice. So, we have rope, we have... So that's what Crimtane ore looks like in the wild, so to speak. In we go! Try not to die to piranhas. So there's a couple more hearts. Except that I really need to get out of here, or else I will drown. So this could be problematic. I'm going to run up here and see if maybe I can find... Aha! Ice? So you can't jump into ice and break it, but your pick will break it. Close? There we go. Whew! Well, that was close. So that kind of demonstrates the danger of ice sometimes. Ice will naturally reform. So you always want to be careful about diving in the frosty biome. It could wind up being a frosty grave. Let's use these 2 new life crystals. There we go. Let's throw some light in here. There. Okay. So I'm just exploring out, getting to know the lay of the land. The little channel down there I could empty some water into if I wanted to, but I don't really see the need to. So I'm going to get a fresh breath of air. And now I'm going to try to drop a rope so I can climb out quickly. And then my next goal will probably be blowing up this last heart. I don't want... Interesting. There. Alright. Let's get some fresh air. Yeah, cool. I got a banner. Alright. So the reason I don't want to be around to collect the item down here is, this is my third shadow scale, which means, it looks like that was the last of my rope. Okay. This being my third shadow scale means it will summon the Cthulhu spawn when it breaks. And when that happens, you always want to be out as much in the open as possible when you're fighting a boss. To that end, I need to figure out a way to get out of here. Alright. If you don't have rope, and you need to build something that can be scaled or down through, platforms work fairly well. There we go. That's going to be... Alright, let's make sure I can... It's there. Let's always remember to torch up. Alright. So basically you can put platforms at your max jump height. And now I have a way to get up and out of the chasm. Again, you want mobility, especially when you're fighting a boss. Hey, another vertebrae. Good, good, good. He dropped a vertebrae. I almost think I have 11? One more vertebrae and I think I can just summon it. That being said, whenever I break that heart crystal, it will summon a 1, simply because it's the third crystal. Or, yeah, it's the third. But, alright. Let's see if 12 was the lucky number. Apparently not. So, I could have checked with the guide before coming out here. But we'll just keep collecting. In the meantime, let's just throw my pumpkin pie buff up. I'm not entirely sure how long it takes for the Eye of Cthulhu to actually show up. Or sorry, not the Eye of Cthulhu anymore. We're off fighting bigger, badder enemies. We're fighting the brain of Cthulhu eventually. But that should not break the heart. Good. I'm a little worried about throwing another bomb down there, because I'm pretty sure it will not lower the water. Yeah, that's not good. Okay. You know, all these little things you have to take into account, or else it'll sneak up on you. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and throw this down there and see if it wakes up the Cthulhu. I'm not going to wait and find out. I'm just going to jump. From the sound of it, we're okay. Okay, good. The heart's there. Just gonna loot everything. Alright. Lower some more rope down just because. Oh, this is gonna be a little bit tricky. Alright. The reason I'm saying it's gonna be a little bit tricky is the water level will probably lower down just enough. So, well, I should be okay. So what I'm going to do, throw the bomb down, climb back up to the open area, and get ready to fight Cthulhu. So, without further ado. Yep. Oh, it summons immediately. So, pot up. And this... Alright, we're just gonna fight it down here and do the best I can. Alright, now I can leave. So, you can see this brain's got a bunch of little eyeballs. As you kill them, they do drop samples and health, which is kind of useful. Oh boy. So, yeah. This is a perfect example of why you always want to make sure you have a clean layout when you're fighting a boss, or else things like this happen. Because I died, you hear the music, it's no longer, the boss went back to normal. It happens sometimes. I'm not too torn about it. Oh, hey look, some goldfish are coming to party. I'll just clean up house, go back, and try again. Or, actually this time I'll make one, summon it in a more open place, and that should give me a much better shot at actually killing it. But I don't know if you guys got a very good view while I was flailing around like a madman there. The brain of Cthulhu, it's a brain with a bunch of these little floating orbs, As you kill them, they drop ore and tissue samples, so this wasn't a total loss. I don't know if I have enough tissue samples to actually make anything useful, but we'll give it a shot. Let's open up the right chest. Alright. So, looks like I have enough to make a helmet, or some pants, or a pickaxe. Since I'm planning on going right back and destroying the Cthulhu again, I think I'm going to opt for the pants. Simply because they increase my defense by a good margin. Normally I'd go for the pickaxe, but since I'm planning on going right back and farming more, I don't think I need it, and the defense is much more useful to me. So, deposit this. So that's how the whole crafting works. Let's make sure everything important to me is deposited. Contain the ore I need to deposit. Let's put my other suit over. I'm gonna be selling that. I can deposit that. Bumps, stay with me. I don't really need to be carrying so many health potions around, so I'm actually gonna deposit a few. I'm keeping my spare accessories around because later in hard mode you can unlock an NPC that actually I don't need so many glow sticks. You can unlock an NPC that allows you to combine accessories and do some pretty spiffy stuff. So that's what I'm holding on to everything for. I'll place that in a second. So I'm just gonna place my grandfather clock out in the middle of nowhere. I know, it's horrible, you shouldn't do this to your furniture, but these grandfather clocks are apparently waterproof. Alright, let's deposit everything else. Alright, just going to sell off my old iron trousers. Ha. So, and there. Gotta keep everything happy and decorated. Alright, without further ado, back to the Crimson. So because I have my outfit on, you can't see, but if I were to briefly revert from turtle mode, you'd see my rather motley assortment. The platinum helmet actually looks kind of cool. Looks like a Japanese warlord-esque. But, as I said, I like my tortoise. So, we are off. I have a spare of all the potions I'll want. I might actually take a brief detour here and cut down a few trees. So in that case, actually, making an axe might have been useful, because it takes... The better axes, you chop down trees, rapid fire. I don't generally make it a super high priority, so because in the grand scheme of things, how often are you cutting down trees? But eventually, when you have enough spare ore, it gets to be pretty useful. And actually, I wasn't thinking... I probably had enough platinum there to make a chest piece, but oh well. The reason I'm chopping down a few trees is I want to put some platforms throughout the area where I will be fighting the Brain of Cthulhu. And for that, I need wood. So it's still raining, so I've got zombies and raincoat. But overall, not bad. We got very lucky with being able to kill both Eyes of Cthulhu. And basically here, you guys got an excellent view of the difference between fighting a boss when you're ready and prepared versus just winging it. The Eye of Cthulhu went very smooth, so smooth I was able to fight too, because I had the battlefield planned out, I had everything taken care of. I really want to chop this. Okay, fine, zombies, die. See, zombies, they care about nature. Keep stopping me from cutting down trees. There we go. And that's actually another trick, you guys, I don't know if you guys noticed. Once you start swinging, you can change the direction you face as long as your cursor stays in the same place. So it lets you fend off enemies from both sides while you're cutting with an axe or mining. and actually it's often quite useful with a pickaxe. Your pickaxes auto-swing, which not all swords do, and on top of that, your pickaxes swing really quickly, which can keep enemies at bay. What we got here? More robots. Okay. So sometimes as a defensive option, you can use your pickaxe just to keep enemies away. Doesn't always work, but worth a shot sometimes. And maybe that's also a strategy I use, because since I prioritize getting an excellent pickaxe, it helps. So things I can note from that previous boss fight. It's going to be a lot harder. I had him almost into phase 2, so there's a whole nother phase, and I didn't use a health potion, so I could definitely have improved in that regard. And I totally forgot to check how many vertebrae it takes, so we'll just keep farming for a bit. My next guess is going to be something like 16. But that's okay. While I'm preparing the battlefield, I'll just farm everything that stops by. So, wooden platforms. Gotta love them. Where am I gonna put them? Basically anywhere you could accidentally fall down that would be really detrimental during a boss fight, platforms are a good idea. Because remember, you can always press down and fall through them. It doesn't slow you down. But it will really speed you up by not falling. Well, let's go harvest a few spiders. These guys are a lot easier to kill with some real damage backing me up. Go, we got another vertebrae. Aha! Alright, so we now have a bloody spine. This will summon the Brain of Cthulhu anytime we're in the Crimson. So in other words, you can't use it right next to home. Now this can be exploited. If I were to have built the pickaxe, you can mine enough Crimtane ore to where if you place it all on the world, and actually I probably have enough from my explosions, you can create an artificial crimson biome. Since biomes are determined by what materials are nearby. I'm going to put a few torches around just so we can see better. So I could create an artificial biome up actually by my previous arena if I wanted to, and use that as a base of operations for fighting. If the battle goes really tough, I might do that, but I generally don't. Hey look, a second meteorite has landed, so eventually when we explore the world, we'll find some meteorite. At this point, I kind of skipped the meteorite phase and went straight to Crimtane. But if the bosses are extra hard for you, you can farm that meteorite, and I will show you a few tricks about the meteorite. Dynamite's a really good friend when it comes to mining that, actually, because of enemies that spawn there. But you can get the meteorite, and it will also help with fighting off enemies. I'm actually going to be a little bit more creative here. And what I'm going to do is create several platforms, all within jumping height of each other. The reason being, this way I have a lot more room and ability to deal with Cthulhu. Again, like, when you're fighting bosses, mobility will win battles. It is such a wonderful thing. For Cthulhu, I don't need multiple levels because I can just run side to side. For this brain, if I weren't underground, side to side would work as well. Since I am underground, I'm just going to build myself an area where just a little bit of preparation. I can now jump up and down, and I have a lot more ability to avoid him, to attack the little thingies. I didn't get a chance to read their name, so I'll try to make a mental note of that. Alright, I'm out of platforms. It's go time. Hope you guys are ready for round 2. I know my karate tortoise is itching for revenge. And then he wants to get on and eat his sushi, so I mean, let's get show on the road. First, I'm just gonna clean out these spawns. You the last thing you really, or at least knock them down to where they don't fight me. Alright. When you're fighting a boss, the last thing you really need is a bunch of random creepers showing up. Alright. Pumpkin pie. Move fast. Iron skin. Kill off one more spider. And let's summon it. It's go time. First thing I'm actually going to do, because there's a lot of those things, that cloud, really useful. So apparently the eye just kind of floats around, and it's called a creeper. So the Brain of Cthulhu summoned a bunch of these creepers. I'm going to keep it raining on his parade. Try to kill creepers. Try to keep your health up. So I have 360 health. Right now I'm about 100 shy. It actually is a good time to just pop a healing potion. It's close enough, and this way I can start counting down. Alright, so creepers are dying. But, there we go. My cloud ran out, so I'm recasting my cloud. You just gotta keep an eye on that. So this boss fight is going a fair bit smoother than last time. Getting a lot more tissue sample and cryptane ore. Last creeper. Just need to kill this off. And then the Brain of Cthulhu is vulnerable. One more swing ought to do it. There we go. So now we have the Brain of Cthulhu. This guy's evil, angry, and creepy as heck. My question is, how many eyeballs does Cthulhu have? Because I'm pretty sure I knocked one out from before. Throw one of those up. And I think for this battle, I'm actually going to have more luck with a harpoon. Except that he phases out too quickly. Harpoon might not be my best bet, actually. Not entirely sure what the best strategy is here, so... flail around like a madman. He's almost dead. Alright. We got this. There we go. So, the Brain of Cthulhu's been defeated. Let's heal up. He dropped a bunch of cryptane ore. He actually didn't drop any samples, so it looks like samples only come from his little minions. But, we did it. The extra defense was great. And I don't think I have enough vertebrae, and I don't think I want to. So I'm going to run home and see how much more gear we can make. So this is kind of something you'll repeat a couple of times until you're up to full cryptane, or in the case of the corruption nightmare gear. There are some differences. So this is the Brain of Cthulhu. If you have corruption instead of cryptane, you'll be fighting the Devourer, I believe, of worlds. It's a giant multi-segmented worm. You can hit, each segment has health. And if you kill a middle segment, the worm splits into two smaller worms until all segments are depleted of health. Each segment, when it dies, has a chance to drop ore as well as shadow scales. And for that, again, you want some mobility. And basically, the way the worm kind of coils around, you'll want to get to when it's bending. You just want to wail away at it with a good sword, because swords hit multiple segments as they pass. So it is a different boss fight that is going to be the adventure for those of you who are my viewers that aren't lucky enough to have cryptane. So, and looks like I got about 5 gold coins from that battle as well. Not bad. All in all, I'd say this was a smashing success. Alright. So I'm going to quick stack, because it's a lazy way of getting everything stacked together. And make as many cryptane bars as I can. Alright. Deposit the ore. I'm going to go ahead and make scale mail. Replace my 2 defense. That'll take 20 tissue samples, so I will still have enough, I think. I might not actually have enough for picks. 12 and 25 is, what, 37? No. But, again, I'm planning on immediately farming. So, 7 defense, 2. So I'm currently at 27 defense, but I think that's with iron skin. But that's fine. Now I'm up to 32 defense. So that's 3 less damage I'm taking now. And I'm starting to get to where I have plenty of tissue samples. So what I actually can, eventually what you can do is, you get to a point where you have more than enough tissue samples, just go kill the Eye of Cthulhu, because it's a much easier boss if you just need the ore. I'm going to go farm Crimtane one more time, or farm Cthulhu, because why not? I've got a few more vertebrae. It just sounds like a good time to me. Although actually, I might not. Actually, no. I'll have to think about that one, actually. I probably do need to kill him at least one more time, since I don't have enough tissue samples to finish my armor, and as well as make a pickaxe. So I think I am going to go kill Cthulhu one more time. Alright, I already have a set of robot pants, so I'm just going to sell the robot pants. You can only be so fancy. Alright, sell those. They sell for a pretty good price, too. Well, that's always nice. And because I'm out of rope, there we go. I would say you can never have too much rope, but, well, let's be honest. That is plenty of rope, and it'll keep me... It will meet all of my needs for a significant period of time to come. The only thing I wish I did have, which I don't think I have any of, is iron. So that I can make more iron skin potions. That extra defense was really helpful. I could probably be okay, seeing as how I have better armor now. But it's one of those things of, again, preparation. We'll give it a shot. If I'm not able to completely finish it off, such is life. A little trick on the rope I haven't expressly said. If you're holding up or down when you go through the rope, your character will automatically latch onto it, which means you won't take falling damage coming off of it. It can stop your fall. Just a nice little tip for mobility's sake. Alright, let's go on down the hill. Whee! So the goal here is farm up a few more vertebrae. I believe I need about 10 more. Oh boy. See, right there I caught the rope at the last second and avoided falling damage. Pretty nifty. Additionally, actually, since I didn't grab my gear from the first time, let's light it up a little bit more. So, if you're wondering why I haven't tried, you can, I mean, you'll try to mine it, but you can't. When I make the better pickaxe, it will be able to. See what we got here. The demonic rotted fork. That's nifty. And actually, since I know I'm safe for now, I'm going to destroy that last heart down there. See what this is. 17 melee damage. But it's a spear, which I haven't shown you guys yet. Spears are useful because they generally will hit each enemy multiple times. And 17 damage isn't bad, but my blade does a bit more, so I'm probably going to stick with it. Keep in mind also, just like you have armor and damage reduction, your enemies do also. Alright. Sorry, goldfish. You're gonna be douchey. Alright. Gateway is open. So, every 3, the thing every 3 shadow scale or shadow orbs broken. Since this is the first of 3 now. Horrible chill goes down your spine, and I got an angry panic necklace, which once I'm out of the water, we will examine what a panic necklace is. And at this point, if I wanted to, I could lower a rope down here, but since I don't plan on going back down here and summoning a Cthulhu, this is enough. Panic necklace increases movement speed after being struck, and the angry modifier is plus 3% damage. It's useful. It can actually be combined with other things. For my purposes, I don't really want to equip it, but still nice to have. Let's farm a few of these guys. Alright, got another vertebrae. So, farming. Deathweed I'm picking up along the way. I know it's used in a couple of different potions. We can check with the guide when we get back to home base. But those are its uses, really. So this is what your Crimson overall looks like. And this might not actually be the only Crimson on the map, it's just the first one I've encountered. Often you'll find at least, well, small worlds might only have one, medium worlds often have two, large worlds almost always have two corruption biomes, so I'm assuming the same for Crimtane. Which is it's very possible when it lies beyond the jungle in the other direction. So, alright, lucky. These guys, the face monsters, creepy as they are, always drop a vertebrae when you kill them. So they're much more reliable. Spiders and whatnot have a chance. See, like that one didn't. So, ideally, I'd love a lot of face monsters, but I'll take anything. Enough of anything will eventually yield me another vertebrae. See? All good things come to those who wait. 12. We're getting close. I think we need 4 more. No one likes you, slime. Get the hell out of here. Alright. Kill another. Alrighty, another vertebrae. So, I think the plan is we'll get one more vertebrae. Show you guys one last fight with Cthulhu. Head back, get some ore, and then we'll be ready to start. And I think that'll about round out this episode, and we'll be ready to start thinking about expanding our elevator all the way down to hell. Huh, okay, apparently I was wrong. Face monsters do not always drop vertebrae. Pity. Gel is always useful for potions and torches. There's a spider down there, so let's go kill it. So those red things that heal me are candied apples. Normally, in a normal game, they're hearts, and if you use a lot of mana to kill enemies, they can drop blue crystals. Because it's Halloween, they look a little different. They behave the exact same way, it's just a cosmetic difference. A bit more festive. I heal by eating candied apples. I suppose maybe that makes a little more sense than eating hearts. Yeah, we're not going to think too much into that. Although I am in an area that's kind of like a bloody sort of place, so... eh. Alrighty. We're just not having much luck with this. I believe we need 3 more. Maybe, just maybe, we'll get lucky here. Nope. Aha! Alright. I think it was 16, or was it 14? Yep. I'm pretty sure it's 16. 2 more, ladies and gentlemen. 2 more vertebrae. Just gotta go rip spines out of monsters. This isn't a gruesome game, I swear. So, unfortunately there are those ice bats over there, which... The way Terraria works is you can have a set number of monsters on screen at a time. So those bats are... I can't get to them, but they are counting against my score, if you will. So, would you stop running from me? There. Alright, we got another vertebrae. So I intentionally ran away from the bats so they were no longer on my screen, with the hopes that other enemies, hopefully ones that can drop vertebrae with spine. Ah, alright, 15 is the lucky number. With this in mind, all I've got is a pumpkin pie, so let's do this. First thing I want to do, cast my cloud, rain on his parade. There's the brain of Cthulhu, and here's all of his creepers. They have 100 health each, so that raining cloud does a lot of damage to them when they're clustering. Actually, it does most of the work for me. So if you're lucky enough to get the Rainy Cloud, it really makes your day a lot easier. Seeing it's starting to drop a lot of samples, I need to heal. There we go. Gotta watch out for the Eye of Cthulhu, the Brain of Cthulhu, rather. Looks like we just about killed off his creepers, so we're almost to mode 2. Alright. Now, we got an Angry Eye of Cthulhu here. Rain on his parade. Alright. So in this case, I almost think it might be better to play hide and seek with him with a gun. Actually, okay, so the Brain of Cthulhu experiences knockback, which means, yes, you're going to want a good ranged weapon. It might almost be worthwhile to make a bow. He does warp, which, I'm not going to lie, creepy. Ah! Nope, no, heal. Alright. So, if you're fast on your reflexes, you can knock him away and keep him a little bit at bay. Ha! That was close. See the difference an Iron Skin potion makes. So if you're quick on your reflexes, you can actually knock him back. So a ranged weapon with a long platform would work very well for killing him. Basically, every time he teleports in, you shoot him, knock him back, and repeat the process until he's dead. But now, if we look, we have a lot more ore and 45 more tissue samples. This should be enough to get us up to full crimson and a pickaxe. We already have a sword, so this will be enough to get us to a point where there's one set of gear that's better than Crimson / Nightmare available in the easy mode before we unlock hard mode, and that's magma gear. To get that, it gets a lot trickier. You've got to go down to hell, mine it, and deal with a lot of lava. That will be probably, yeah, it'll be the episode when we finally do get to hell. Probably next episode, depending on how long it takes to dig our elevator. But for this one, let's go back and enjoy the spoils of war. Alright. Grab all the ore. Yeah, we have 71 tissue samples. We should be able to make everything we need. We might need a little more Crimtane, a few more Crimtane bars, but that's what Cthulhu could be farmed for if we need it. But first things, I'm going to finish off, actually, finally get myself a proper pickaxe. It's got Ruthless, so it does a bit more damage, a little less knockback. So, it's 70% pickaxe power, fast speed, composed to a very fast speed, but 60%. So it actually mines a little slower, but it takes away a lot more blocks in one hit, and it can mine most ores we will now encounter, including magma stone. Yeah, it's able to mine hellstone, so, and obsidian. Perfect. I don't need this anymore. Also, we want to finish off our gear, so get a helmet, 2% increased damage. So higher level gear tends to have modifiers on it more than just defense. And now that we have our full set, we can see our set bonus. Greatly increased life regeneration. That's actually really kind of cool. Now my defense is up to 25. I have full crimson. We're looking pretty good at this point. Made great strides through the first... frankly, I almost feel like hard mode is even more content than easy mode. So I wouldn't quite say we're halfway into the content, but we've made a good dent in the content. We now have respectable gear. Sell these two things. So we now have respectable gear. We have a basic tunnel. With this type of attack and defense, it would not be a bad idea to go exploring. See, because now nothing's really going to kill you. You can see what else is out there and just get a feel of the lay of the land. Alright, so, that in mind... Yeah, okay, so I think this sums up this episode. We got a double feature Eye of Cthulhu, as well as a couple Brains of Cthulhu boss battles. Next episode, we'll work on our elevator, see if we can get all the way down to hell. Before I let you guys go, I'll just show you a little bit about the new pick. So it's a little slower on... It's actually slower on dirt, since the previous pickaxe I had took dirt away in one swing. But unless I'm very much mistaken, where my titanium pickaxe took a couple swings... Sorry, slime. Yeah, I now take stone out in 2 swings as opposed to 3. So it's not exactly a faster one yet. In hard mode, you get really nice, fast drills. But it's a step in the right direction. I can now mine almost everything in easy mode. So without anything further, let's sell off everything. Didn't really need a tombstone from when I died. You can, I suppose, make your own graveyard if you feel so inclined. But that brings an end to this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any suggestions for things you'd like to see done. And tune in next time to see hell. Take care, everyone.